Hey everyone, no respawns. So I've made a bunker of sorts. Not really made a bunker, as opposed to Bethesda made the bunker and then I just armoured it and kind of made it a bit usable. So those of you who have probably played the game quite extensively have seen these bunkers lying around, and I've wanted to make something out of them for ages, but they're kind of a pain in the arse. So those of you who actually had a chance to play with them, these are in the Unlock Settlement Objects mod rather, in the structures, and it's in the, I think they're called pre-built structures, prefab structures. I've forgotten what the tab called. That tab where all of the pre-war and kind of pre-built stuff is. Now these are frustrating because you see right now the big thing with these is they have a foundation at the bottom, this little part here. The problem is it's very, very thin, so you get the problem that you can see right there where grass is poking through the bottom bit. Now it doesn't look bad there at all because it's just basically there's not very much, but I've been hopping through settlements trying to find place somewhere a little bit flatter for me to do this. I was actually going to do this in Spectacle Island and then Counting Crossing. It's been a bit of a pain in my backside, and eventually I just deleted the slightly older structure that I had in, what do you call it, in Egret Tours Marina, and it works pretty really well, which is grand. You could also probably do it in somewhere like Starlight Drive-In, but the thing is with Starlight I've already kind of got a complete settlement, and the only way I'm able to put this is by deleting something on the inside or popping this on the outside, and it just didn't fit with my RP. But it's good actually, because the structure I had here before I didn't really like very much. So yeah, what I basically do, it's quite a simple thing, to be utterly frank. I just wanted to kind of go through the process, and it is a little bit fiddly, so initially my plan was actually to build something on the roof. So it's going to actually have an entire structure going over the top. But the problem is with this specific building is you can't actually place anything in or on it, which sounds like it wouldn't work. It does, and don't worry, and you can decorate it as well. And it's not as complex at decorating as you think. But like I was thinking, oh, I can put like a roof piece on the top, or like put a board on the top. But just for whatever reason, currently with just this version of it, you can't do anything with it unless you kind of do a little bit of fuckery. But it's good because I do lots of fuckery. I even show you how I decorate the inside in terms of the functionality. But it looks pretty cool. I'm quite pleased with this. It suits the area, and this is one of those structures I've just wanted. There's loads of stuff in the USO mod and just pre-existing stuff that I've just wanted to utilize, and this is just one of those things. So I'm quite pleased with how we do this. It did take me a while though because I kept scrapping stuff. Plus I've started watching Star Trek Enterprise again, which means I was watching Star Trek Enterprise while trying to do this, which is probably not the best thing. It's really hard. I thought I could multitask people. I can't multitask at all. I can't do it. Because basically I couldn't focus on what I was doing, so I was like, oh, this will work, and then I was like, trying to watch the episode. So there we go. I'm on Season 3, in case you're curious. It's really good. If you've not watched Enterprise, definitely check it out. It's one of those kind of oft-neglected Star Trek series. However, I think it's actually quite good. It does have the worst theme music ever, though, which I'm pretty sure might be the main contributing reason why it's not as well regarded, which is silly because I think it's really cool. Anywho, I'm also watching the new one, obviously, because it's badass. And you should too. So this looks pretty cool. I'm pretty pleased. It was quite straightforward once I got in my head exactly what I was doing here. And yeah, and then once I kind of stopped scrapping and kind of changing my ideas, which is what I do quite a lot. This is me just demonstrating the fact that you can't actually put anything on the top whatsoever, which is a shame. To be honest, it looks fine, and you probably could do something on the top if you were so inclined, but at this point I'd already kind of committed to not doing that. I was like, right, it's not going to happen. And it looks pretty grand anyway. I just wanted something kind of quite simple. It's a shame. I probably could. You could argue this wouldn't fit this area, because obviously you look at it, it's actually kind of a car park and there's a bunker in here. But who knows how. It could be one, for example, that was made between this and the bombs and then it got abandoned, or I don't know. It's pretty kind of like a prefab little military structure, so, you know, ostensibly you could argue it might fit in here, but it looks cool, so that's fine. This is me just demonstrating that you didn't actually need to pillar glitch any of those items in at all. I just wasted everyone's time, so it's fine. You can get most of these half shacks just by manually placing them in. The reason big is because the structure's a little bit more forgiving. You can see right now, see, I can actually kind of place it inside. Now, the reason for why I'm placing these kind of fugly walls here is just because I'm going to put some junk fences against them. Don't worry, I only show you 2 because I know how tedious it is me watching me fucking rug glitch junk fences every video. But basically, this just gives me a little bit more of a background surface to put the junk fences on. So, because I wanted this to look like it was reinforced, you know, I wanted to just do something with it, rather than just simply just placing down a bunker, which you could do if you wanted, and then decorate the inside. I wanted to, you know, Davey-ify it a little bit, which is what I did, really. It's pretty magical, if I don't say so myself. Pretty cool, pretty pleased with this. Pretty pleased. Oh, I'll have my first lore video coming next weekend, in case you're curious. I mentioned those who follow me on Twitter know that, and who pay attention to my other videos, notice that I do actually want to start branching off into kind of lore videos, especially around in Games Workshop, and with just kind of Warhammer Total War just come out, it just seems the perfect time. But I'm going to be abroad most of mid next week in Serbia, of all places, for a work thing, and therefore I'm going to have to do it next weekend. I was going to do it this weekend, but I've been prepping for next week. But it's going to be cool, because I've been doing loads of readings and stouting and sleuthing around. So this is my little doorway thing. I just wanted to add a little bit more depth. Same with the back area. I just wanted to kind of Davey-ify this a little bit, but also kind of keep the original structure, and just kind of adding this little doorway just kind of works. It also gives me an excuse to make a weird little kind of bridgey ramp thing, and you know how much I love my bridgey ramp things. This is me. The reason why I did spend about 20 minutes trying to put 2 boards on the inside, and it didn't really work. I ended up making quite a bespoke thing, which works very, very well. And yes, the settlers can use it. You'll see in a sec. I love these doorways. I think maybe once, because I mentioned this before, and I just want to draw attention to it. I always reverse these because they look so much cooler reversed. Right, look at that, you know, with the supports facing outwards. They just make absolutely awesome doorways, and you should use them. Check this out. Look, this just kind of happily fits in here. I don't have to glitch them. This just wanted to work this way. It was like, Davey, yeah, let's do it like this. I'm like, yeah, let's do it like that. Let's. Ooh, it doesn't actually completely fit in. Now, you see, in a minute, I'm going to glitch these in, right? And it occurs to me I could have just slightly scooted those wooden crates over, but I didn't, so we end up using some rugs, because why not? This build uses a lot of rugs, because I mentioned how you can't actually place anything in or on this. It means you have to use rugs to actually get any of the decoration. You have to make a surface, and it's really simple. Don't worry, I'll show it after I've done all the boarding up bits. But yeah, I use a lot of rugs, so thank you for Andrew CX for giving me loads of invisible rugs, because if I didn't have invisible rugs, this build just wouldn't have worked, because it would have looked ridiculous. Also, this one, even though you have to use invisible rugs to decorate the inside, it's not an issue, because it is just one surface. If it were one of the other structures, you know, where it's like one of the houses, for example, where you couldn't place anything inside, it would be a bit of a nightmare. Basically, I don't know why you can't place anything inside, by the way. Look at that, doesn't that work? Oh, suits you so. Oh, looks grand. But yeah, I don't know why you can't place something on the inside. I don't know. Maybe just it was. I don't know why. Someone can explain. So some buildings you can, some builds you can't. This works really well, except for that part there. But don't worry, because I'll put it over the top. Be cool. What do I do? Or do I just? Oh, I think I just pillar glitch this in. Yeah, I do. Remember when I used to use these concrete pieces all the time? I will start using them again now. Enough time has passed. I haven't used these as much, which means I can get away with putting them on all of my structures again. Ha ha ha. It'll make a change from the junk fences. Until then, I go back to using junk fences, and I basically just alternate between the two, because that's all I do. Right, so here I'm just going to quickly I've already just put them down, but basically I'm just putting a few junk fences. Just got a bit tongue-tied right there. It's been a long weekend. A few junk fences on the edge here, just to just reinforce and just kind of add the texture. But because I have to do like 8 or 9 of them, I only show you 2, because it would just be so tedious to watch me do. And it's literally just this. I alternate between these 2 different styles. and a couple of the blank ones. Don't worry, I do a tour so you can see in the inside in a bit. But here we go. We just do that about 5 or 6 times. Right, now this is me showing you how I add the floor piece. I'm making a big chain of rugs. The reason being is I need to be able to reach the damn things. And I'm putting a big rug on the top. I accidentally lose the rugs. I'm putting 1, 2... Oh, got to get rid of that. You'll see me get a bit confused with my rug placement in a second. That's because they were attached to that lamp and I scrapped that lamp, basically. Okay, so I've got the 4 rugs. So 1 in the centre and then 1, 2, 3 on each side because it's kind of thing. I'm putting these barrels here so I can see where the edges of the rugs are. Because I'm super clevers. Hashtag super clevers. Or something. It's having a bit of a... I think when I took that lamp off, it confused my rugs because they were attached. So you see what I mean? I can just kind of see the edges. This actually works perfectly, by the way, and you'll see in a minute why. It's quite simple, see. I mean, it's not. It's actually completely fiddly, but once you've done it, you've done it. And in terms of, for those of you who are kind of thinking ahead and going, well, how do I decorate the walls if I can't place something on them? It's only stuff that goes green, like this. So any item, those of you who use the custom Villa Assets mod, or for example, that better one would be those posters of the Commonwealth mod that I used the other week. Because that doesn't have any collision at all and you can just place it, it means that you can decorate with posters. Look in my mods playlist, there is a posters of the Commonwealth mod, which you can use to decorate the inside of this. Watch that video first, because I show you how to place them. So, it's a bit of a... I'm getting a bit confused by how I do this properly. Eventually, I just settle with doing this. Don't move the pillar, so I can readjust. As you can see, these are actually the perfect size for using those 3 bits. So again, down we go. Using the barrels so I can kind of get it so it's basically the rugs are just touching the floor. And you can see the sinking parts. Now I can just move those barrels around. Use one of the nav mesh, so the nav mesh repair rug, this longer one here. And I can basically just cover up more or less all of the gaps. It's right. The trick with this is not to use too many rugs, because if you layer too many over each other, you'll have like an uneven floor. But this actually worked really, really well. So that's pretty much it for the building. Tour are coming in a sec. It looks pretty cool, but as you can see, very grand, very good. So here's the tour. I went quite simplish, straightforward. So you see I've added lights. There's a person sitting on the inside. You can also see, look at the posters. Yeah, posters of the Commonwealth, or anything from Custom Villa Assets mod as well will work. Anything that basically doesn't glow green and is just placeable on any surface. But watch my poster of the Commonwealth video, it's in my playlist. So yeah, that looks really cool. Quite raidery, or just scrappy, I guess, Davified. It looks like your standard, basically, kind of, you know, crappy settlement, which I like. I like this look, hence why I've now stolen the phrase Davified, or made it, or created. Anyway, I like my little back area, by the way. Very, very chem-filled. So because this is a slightly raidery themed settlement, I've gone for basically a kind of chem production bunker kind of thing. So you've got loads of chem production stuff, and you've got that lass sitting there. That's a guard chair, by the way, so she will permanently sit there, because I just like someone sitting at those desks. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll have another video up tomorrow, and even though I'm abroad, I am going to upload videos in advance and just make them live while I'm abroad, so it should be fine. But until then, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Take care.